All right, welcome everyone to the 2020 Nebraska Passport Stop Training. My name is Madison Johnson and I am your Passport Program Coordinator with the Nebraska Tourism Commission. So first things first, I wanted to touch on some COVID-19 updates. We've decided as Nebraska Tourism that right now it is too soon to make any changes to the current plan. We have been talking to a lot of local officials, the governor's office, and several other people who have a good perspective and say in this, including the Nebraska Travel Association. We had a Zoom call with them yesterday, and pretty much everybody is on consensus that it is the best course of action to have the program maintain throughout the summer, depending on what that start date might be. So there is a very high chance that we'll postpone the start date even farther. So please just be in contact with your local tourism officials to make sure that everybody is on the same page. But any info that we have, any changes that we make, we will send to all of you guys first. So please send in private messages to avoid any confusion. I had a few people reach out and say they were confused about what's all going on. So any updates will all come through me personally. And the main reasons we're doing it is a lot of other states are already scrambling to create something like this. We know Colorado and a lot of other states around us are looking for local in-state tourism programs that they can create, because once this all clears up, this will be the first thing that people want to do. And it also gives people something to look forward to in all of this. But if we do end up having to cancel the program because this is not getting any better and people aren't obeying the guidelines of the CDC and the state, we will look into 2021 to see what we can do. But even if the program only lasts for a few months this summer, we will have something for you guys in the 2021 booklet. Mention you, say, hey, check out the 2020 stops because of all that's happened. So please do not feel like you are getting the short end of the stick. We want this to be beneficial for everybody. So if you have any other questions, please email me, call me, we can talk about it. But with that being said, we will start into more fun things. So throughout this entire presentation, if you have any questions, please email me at madison.schlake@nebraska.gov. That way I can receive them. I'm here by myself today, so I have my computer. So when I get emails about questions, we'll do that all at the end. Just a quick side note. I did get married recently, so my email may change throughout the season to madison.johnson@nebraska.gov. We just haven't gotten there yet, so bear with me if my email changes suddenly. That's why. So here is the first slide. So who is Nebraska Tourism? We focus on out-of-state international travelers. We do campaigns, grants, group travel, consulting, pretty much anything that you would need as a tourism industry, we want to provide for you. So if you have any questions about what's best, there's webinars, there's people you can talk to, there's grant programs, there's so many things you can do with Nebraska Tourism. Our office is open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Even with this time, our office is always manned, so if you need something, you can still call. Someone will be in the office. Shirley is our executive assistant, and she is the main office number. That's her number right there, and that's also the number that's on all the materials. So the booklet and the app also have her number on there rather than mine, and then my personal desk number is right there down below. So that is a picture from our staff Christmas party this last December. I am the one on the front row and kind of in the middle next to Michael with the Santa Claus. And then our director is John. He's the guy in the back with the white hair and the Christmas sweater. And then next to him in the center is Heather. She's our deputy director and grant coordinator. And then I won't go into everybody just for time's sake, but the other person you might need to know is Jen. She is in the onesie holding the little baby. That's her new baby, Ruby. And she's our marketing director, so she is a really great resource for you as well. So you should be getting shipments in the mail. I know a lot of you have already received your first shipment. That is what has the countersign, the 2 window decals, the stamps, and then as well as an ink bottle. If you're missing any of those pieces, please let me know as soon as you can. I think I did a pretty good job of double checking everything, but it is a lot of boxes that I shipped, so please let me know. Some of you have not received them yet because I'm still waiting back from confirmation of addresses, so if you have one of those emails, please get back to me. A quick little thing about the stamp, I do have a sample right here. If you haven't messed with it, I would suggest taking it out of the box and kind of getting familiar with it. You basically just pull this apart, and then there's this little black piece that when you're out of ink, you just push on it, it pops up, and then you can squirt some more ink on there, and then it'll be refilled for you. So please, use them the way you need to. They have 3 just in case that they break, or you can put them at different places in your store. Maybe you have 2 doors, maybe you have a really big building. Just use them the way you need. You also will be getting 100 booklets coming from UNL Printing here, probably at the end of the month. We'll kind of just see how it all works, maybe the first few weeks in May. And we can replenish those as needed, so just let me know when you're running low on booklets and I can send you more. A good rule of thumb is to put all of this stuff in eyesight of people when they walk in your door. We want to make sure that when they walk in, they're not confused as to where they should talk to people or get their stamp. So a front desk is a really good option. Set up a little table on the side right when they walk in. That's a really good way. Just somewhere where people know where they're going to be able to answer their questions. And then as well as getting people to be interested in the program. So say you have, some people who come into your store and they're unfamiliar with the passport. That's a really great way for them to get familiar with it. So be prepared to answer those questions. Don't put the passports in bags because we don't want them to be giveaways, but we want people who are interested to be able to obtain booklets. So you may get around 25 people who come in specifically to get their booklets. That's just because that's part of the nature of the program. They know that that's a way they can get their hands on one, so they might do that. And then that image there is actually what the cover of the booklet looks like this year, just for your information. So it is a very growing and popular program. We have about 20,000 booklets already ordered. This year we had 357 applications, so you guys were the lucky 70 that got chosen. And then why you were chosen. We chose you guys based on visitor experience and uniqueness, customer service, good local tourism ambassadors, and then we wanted to design the program around everybody's benefits and wants and needs. So I really like to have a good variety. I think there's a good variety in all of you. So please, once you get a booklet, look through it, familiarize yourself with the stops. That is one of the best tools you can have as a passport stop, is being able to talk to people about the other stops and all of that. So today, your responsibilities as a passport stop are being a fun stop that's simple and fun. And then today's presentation will prepare you for what's going to happen so that there are a few surprises. What happened last year, we experienced a lot of growth with the program. We've changed the program design this year a little bit. As you can see, there's a new logo. The booklet's going to look a little different. And we only do word of mouth marketing and that kind of outreach. So there's no formal marketing attached to the program. So it really is all about participants talking to each other, some presentations, and news places I reach out to, and then of course from all of you guys. So these are some key marketing phrases that we like to use. I'll probably go through this rather quickly, but we do like to use the phrase hidden gems to give travelers new ideas to visit and places to visit. So hidden gems is just a nice one. We all have kind of fun titles at Nebraska Tourism. So my official title is Passport Program Coordinator, but on my business card it does say Hidden Gemologist. So my job is to find people like you who have unique and cool places to visit for people. The difference is there's a wide variety of adventures offered. There is, things like the Nebraska Wine Passport. There's individual towns that have passports in them. But this is our statewide program with a huge variety of locations. It's super easy. We want to make it as simple and easy for everybody to get a stamp and then turn them in for prizes. Have a great experience at your locations. It should be very hassle-free. And then people fall in love with this program because of the uniqueness, because it changes every year, and the people they meet. So last year we had 914 people make it to all stops, and then the year before that we had 749. So each year that number gets bigger. We'll see what happens this year based on all that's going on, but my original estimate was about 1,200 would get all 70, but we will see. And then the last really big one is that it's completely cost-friendly, so of course it costs nothing for them to get a booklet. as well as to get a stamp. So there's no purchase necessary. And then, a lot of you don't charge any fees or anything to experience a destination. So that would include restaurants or retail stores or anything. People who charge admission, like museums, that's a little different. But, it's not something you have to spend money at in order to experience. So some 2019 results. We had 154,755 total stamps collected last year. That is an estimate. It is really hard to track the participation numbers just purely because not everybody turns in prize entry sheets and not everybody has the Passport app. So that number is based off of what you guys, what past passport stops have reported to me. So it's really important to try to track your passport travelers. That is the number one way that we can do it effectively. Last year we had about 48,551 booklets requested. The average number of stamps per participant was 23. So for each participant, they went to an average of 23 different places. And then we had 6,751 prize entry sheets turned into our office. So that is how many prizes we sent out as well. So about participants, they come from 448 Nebraska communities and 37 states. A lot of the people that come from different states either have friends or family that live in Nebraska, so they come in, they hang out with their family for a while, and then that's when they go around and spend time traveling the state through the passport. But then there's also people who just are traveling through the state and they happen upon a booklet and it turns into a really awesome vacation for them. So you can look at this graph based on our demographics. The 35 to 44 is about the highest. That's a lot of young families, so if you think about families that have children between the ages of maybe 6 and 12, that's a really high demographic. And then as well as retired folks who have that extra time that they can travel around. A lot of them have RVs or something like that where they like to travel and experience passport stops. And then of course it just goes on from there. So about participants, 74% of them have never done the passport before. So each year we have a really good portion who are completely new to the system. So that can lead to a lot of questions. So be prepared for that. And most people learn about the program through a friend and family member. And like I said, 23 is the average number last year. So why do people participate? They want to discover Nebraska's hidden gems. They want to enjoy Nebraska scenery. They want to learn more about Nebraska history. They like supporting Nebraska businesses. They want to spend time with friends and family. And then there are some who just enjoy the competition and game aspect of getting stamps. A lot of people say that getting stamps is addicting. So when they get 2, they want to get 5. When they get 5, they want to get 10, and so on and so forth. So some people will start the program thinking that they're just going to try to get the first prize level, and then they maybe will get 50. You never know. So here's some stop benefits. It says significant increase in traffic. It says up to about 200% reported. Significant increase in sales, $25,000 reported, and then significant increase in awareness among various target markets. So that's a huge one. Awareness is something that even if someone maybe stops by your location when you're closed, they might come back later. There's a good chance that they will. People really like to go to passport stops year after year too. So expect residual passport travelers from the following years. So it's not just a one-year thing. People will know you because of it. I'll probably briefly go through these two. There's quite a few of them. So passport visitors help market my destination to their family and friends. A lot of people will say, oh my gosh, I went to the greatest restaurant ever in Crete today. You should go there. So that's a really easy thing to have happen. They have a lot of return visitors to the destination. A lot of other local tourism destinations reported that passport travel positively impacted them. So maybe you have a state park nearby. Maybe you have, maybe you're a floral shop and there's a restaurant nearby that's really awesome. So you should send your passport travelers to them as well. They receive publicity, both local and statewide. They increase their number of social media followers and website views. They collected passport participant contact information, so that's a good thing to do. I'll go into this a little more later, but when you have a sign-in sheet to help people to track how many people have been in your store, a really good thing is to have them put their email down if they're interested in getting promotional things from you. local dining establishments. You build new partners with local businesses, so you can work with your local CVB or your chamber to figure out what other businesses might be interested in help being promoted on the passport as kind of a part of you. Built new relationships, and then as well as gas stations, retail stores, grocery stores, all that kind of thing. Always see positive traffic, hotel chains as well, especially. So some 2020 goals. We want 100% positive experience from you guys. So benefit from stops from program through increased traffic, sales awareness, and other benefits. So we want this to be a program for you. This is a program especially for you. We want to help you guys out as much as possible. I will say I will have a lot of contact with you over the next few months. So please just, let us know what we can do. Any feedback you can give is really great. We want to increase participation year after year, and then we want to ensure the program's sustainability by showing economic impact. So last year we did an economic impact study, and the direct traveler spending made by the passport was $23.7 million. And then it was $1.9 million in state and local tax revenue. So 2019, the economic impact of this program is huge. Back in 2017, I think the number was, I could be wrong, but I think it was 5.7 million in traveler spending. So the program has quadrupled in the last 2 years. So just to show you, even if the program only goes on for, 3/4 the time it usually does, the economic impact is still massive. So what you will need to do, so when passporters come into your store, please greet them. Ask them how they liked participating. Ask them if they have any questions. You can say things like, what's been your favorite stop so far? How many stops have you been to? Where are you going next? And then the limit for one prize entry sheet per person. So people in the same household can absolutely get their own prizes. So say you have a family of 5 come in. What should happen is each individual person should either have their own app account or their own booklet. So stamp every single one of them. Make sure that you do that. Make sure you're thorough with that. And a lot of little kids will have their booklets, and it's really cute. And so make sure you don't leave anybody out. And physical stamps are still the main way people earn credit for a stop. So there is the Passport app, which I will definitely go into a little bit later. But for the most part, most people still walk around with their physical passport booklets. They like these. They like the tangibility of them. I encourage everybody to get the app for a number of reasons, but you will be stamping a lot of these. So please be aware of that. So here's a little thing of where to stamp. So there's technically 2 places that you need to stamp. The main one is the prize entry sheet, which is this piece right here on the right. This is what they turn into our office at the end of the season. This is actually from this year, so if your stop is on here, yay. So this is where you will stamp. So if you are Popcorner in North Platte, you will stamp right here, and that is how people get credit for your location. Also, a lot of people keep the booklets year to year as kind of a souvenir. So please stamp their booklet itself if they would like you to. Most people will. So stamp next to your name. So if you are one of the world's largest porch swings in Hebron, please stamp right here for them. So that way they have a memory of which stops they went to. So if you have any questions about that, that's a big one. And then I will also touch on the digital stamps and selfies right here in a little bit. But please, again, send any questions to my email, madison.schlake@nebraska.gov. So about stop categories. We do have 10 categories with 7 stops in each. So each of you are in a category. If you don't know what category you're in, you can look on our website. But some of you will fit into more than one category. It's just the way that it works. Even if you have a coffee shop, you might also have some really good snacks. It's just kind of the way it goes. I will go through them just quickly. This one right here on the top left-hand corner is called Little Bite or Big Bites. That is your restaurants. That is the place we want people to eat their meals. Right here is Unexpectables. Those are more bizarre things you wouldn't expect. So for example, the Bigfoot Museum and Bigfoot Crossroads of America Museum in Hastings is on that, as well as the world's largest porch swing and a number of things. This one right here is Artcetera. That is kind of a combination of art places and bookstores. So we like to say that the written word and art are both artistic expressions, so that is where that one came from. This is Fancy Plants, so that is floral shops, greenhouses, and gardens. Personal favorite of mine, also personal favorite name. And then right there in the left-hand corner is Brouhaha, so that is beer, coffee, tea. Then to the right we have Anything That Rolls, so that one is what it sounds like. Any stop that can roll, so that can be golf balls like Beyond Golf and La Vista. The Sack Museum in Ashland, Planes Have Wheels, sort of. The Classic Car Collection in Kearney, obviously they have wheels, and then as well as a donut shop, the Kimball Bakery in Kimball, and they also have cupcakes that can technically roll. And then right there in the center, that's Little Bites. Those are snack places. Aqua Pop in Wayne, Popcorner in North Platte, Double Dips Ice Creamery in North Platte. A number of different places. Tall Tree Tastings in Beatrice. Then next to that is the More to Explore. That's the one with the fire. Those are outdoor places, so Niobrara State Park, and a number of different things that are explore based. And then next to that is the Root Routes. That is places that are allow you to explore heritage and culture a little bit more. So it is Rosita's in Scotts Bluff. That is the Henderson Mennonite Heritage Park in Henderson, and Genoa U.S. Interpretive Indian School in Genoa as well. And then right there on the far right is Sip and Shop. That are places that either have coffee in store, have a wine place nearby, and then it's retail stores. So you might be a boutique that has a coffee bar. You might be a home decor store that has places to sip nearby. It kind of just worked out that way, but that's kind of a fun one as well. So it is more for marketing purposes for us to be able to say like, oh, there's a snack tour this year, but it is kind of fun. So you are categorized into that this year. Your will be listed in your categories in the booklet. So please familiarize yourself with what page your stop is in the booklet. That way you are familiar. So here's a very important thing. Please only stamp booklets for people that are present. So if you have someone who comes in and goes, oh, I have 2 booklets. My husband, he couldn't make it today, but can you stamp his booklet? You are not allowed to do that. So please only stamp people who are there. This is written in the booklet under the rules section, so if they are frustrated by this, please send them that direction. People might get a little salty with you, but if they have a problem, tell them to call me. It seems that 9 times out of 10, if someone has a complaint and they call me, they seem to be okay with it. So, tell them to call the state office, and usually they are a little bit more kind or understanding, but that's not a huge issue. Most of the time, most participants are aware of that rule, especially if they read the rules, but it might come up. So just know that you're only supposed to stamp booklets for people present. Obviously, there's 1 or 2 exceptions, so if, they say, I'm sorry, my son is sleeping in the car, can you just stamp this really quick for his booklet? That's fine. Just, use your common sense, but do not stamp for people not present. And then also, the other very important thing is Nebraska state law prohibits charging participants in order to receive a stamp. So if you are a museum who charges admission, you are not allowed to make them pay you admission in order to receive a stamp. That same thing goes with restaurants, coffee shops, any place where people can spend their money. You are not allowed to make them give you money in order to give a stamp. So stamp their booklets regardless if they pay you anything or not. All right, a little bit about the app. So the app is really great. It allows a lot of information to be shared really quickly. That is the best reason for it. There's a whole FAQs page in the app and in the booklet, so that can be found. There's that little eye with a circle around it icon. So there's all sorts of information on the app that people can reference. This is from last year, so if you look on the right-hand side, the messages, for example, on September 26th, the Craigle Windmill Factory Museum in Nebraska City closed at noon. So that's just something we throw out to people just so they know. As well as things like holidays. So, for the 4th of July, If you are not open over the 4th of July, that is something we will send over the app. We'll also list it on our website. But the way the app works is that each of you have a profile, basically, and it works with their location services. So even if you're a more rural area, their stamp should work. It's based off of GPS. It's not based off of phone service, of cellular service. So if you look in the center image, there's a map that also sends, you can zoom in and zoom out and find which stamps you need. There's nearby notifications, so if they're in downtown Lincoln and they're on the app, they go, oh my gosh, this is nearby. So please encourage everyone to download the app, basically just because of the notification system. It is easily the best way for us to communicate with participants. And obviously there's some people who aren't comfortable using technology, so that's a hurdle sometimes, but for the most part, just encourage them to download the app. At least one person in the family. The other thing about the app is that you can get it when you guys are closed, or if they go at weird times or whatever happens, you can get your stamp 24/7. I think the next slide talks about that more. But each participant also needs to have their own app account. So if you have a mom who wants her son to have an app account as well, she would have to log in, create a new account for her son, and then get that stamp for him. But you don't have to worry about the app. That is all me. So if there's any questions, have people call our office. I can go into the back end of the app and add stamps for people. So if someone goes, oh my gosh, I forgot to get my last place stamped digitally, have them call me. I just add it. I pretty much no questions asked. So the update will be available on the start date of the program. Whether or not that's May 23rd, we'll see. It's available both in iPhone and Android. And then they can just search Nebraska Passport 2020 in the App Store and they download it for free. This is an example of what your profile will look like. So there is this right here, which is the most handy thing about this profile, in my opinion, is this sends you directly to Google or Apple Maps, and then it is basically just a way to find the passport stops quicker without having to type in the addresses on Google. It also has if you have admission cost, or if whether or not you're in Mountain Central Time, whether you have a passport deal, whether or not you accept credit cards, that kind of thing. It has a little description. This is your phone number, a link to your website, and then this right here is actually where they get the stamp. So they need to physically push that little dot on the profile page in order to get credit for it. So if anyone has a question, you just push it. It'll say once they are in GPS range, that'll light up and it'll say stamp. And then once you push it, it'll say stamped with a question, with a check mark. So make sure people know that. Sometimes they get confused. So again, they can get stamps 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the alternative to having something like this would make you guys be open every single day, and only having stops that are open both Saturday and Sunday, that are open all day long, because that is the main complaint that we get from passport participants is businesses that aren't open all the time, and we lost participation because of it, and it's inconvenient and frustrating. So we created the app in order to alleviate some of that. It is genuinely easy for you guys. There's, even if they come in and just get a stamp, that doesn't mean that they won't come back later. If they just drive by and get a passport stamp on the app, that doesn't mean they won't come back. So please just keep that in mind. So the part at the bottom is that there is people who do just want to get a stamp and leave, or maybe who aren't very interested in your location. Unfortunately, that is the way it goes. So say you are a brewery and you have a couple who comes in and they don't drink. Having the app might be a really helpful way to help you save some time and not having to stamp their booklet. So it kind of depends. There's good and bad, but for the most part, the app is just super convenient for people. So please familiarize yourself with that as well. There we go. The other way people can get stamps if you are closed is through Selfies. So this is at Lake Minnetonka out west in the Panhandle. So they can take a picture of themselves with the passport destination and then turn that into our website, or physically print the picture and turn it in with their passport prize entry sheet at the end of the season. There are instructions in this in the booklet, so if you're unfamiliar with it, just send them that way or take them on our website. So that is a good way to get credit for a stamp too. So then trivia questions. This is quick. If you submitted a trivia question to show up on the app, it'll happen after people stamp your location, and it's just for fun. There's no prizes. It will tell them what the correct answer is. I had a really fun time creating the wrong answers for a lot of them. I got kind of silly with a few of them, but most of them make sense. Some of them are inside jokes, so I hope a few of you like them. All right, so some long-term benefits of being a passport stop. I would encourage you to gather participant names and emails. That way you can start building a relationship with people who are truly interested in your business. Maybe you own a boutique and people would love to know how to shop online with you, and you can send out coupons and deals and promotions. And make sure that you say that they're willing to opt in. So if you have an email, say, if you would like to receive our emails, list your email below. That way people know. So your guest book, that can either be a guest book or it could be an iPad or something, whatever you need to do, whatever works best for you. And then you can maybe tie this into a prize drawing. So maybe you want to donate a gift card to them, whoever gives you their information. But yeah, just make sure you get permission from them. So that's a really cool thing to do as well that can help you a lot in the long term. You can let them know about events or specials you're having. You can let them know about, maybe you do a ton over the holidays. So I know like Sugar Shack Candles in Edgar basically closed down their store and redoes the entire thing for Christmas and opens up like this huge back half of their store. So let them know about that kind of stuff. They would love to know about Christmas things you have going on, or maybe you do a huge thing for the 4th of July, or maybe you're really into Easter. I'm not sure, but just, that's a really great way to let people know and encourage them to come back again and bring their family and friends. You can also give coupons, so like, hey, come back, and if you buy 2 tours, you get a tour free, or offer a coupon with a movie ticket, whatever you have. So when they come in, invite them to experience what you have to offer. The passport is designed for a mass market. There's obviously different segmented categories, but most participants try to hit as many stops as they can. That's kind of the rule of thumb. The categories are fun, but most people just want to travel around and go to as many stops as possible. You may need to sell the experience to some people because not everyone will be in your target audience. So maybe have something that you can offer everyone. Try to get creative, especially with little kids. Say you're a brewery or a winery. Something small like having a puzzle and a table nearby is a really cool thing just to get people to stay for a little while. But remember, you cannot force people to do anything like have a tour just to get a stamp. So here's, something you can do is start with an interesting tidbit about your destination. Like, our most popular flavor is blank, or our ice cream is special because blank. Just describe any special discounts or deals just for passport participants, which that's also in the booklet. So if you said you wanted to have a deal when you filled out that survey, that is indicated in the booklet and in the app. So I remember last year, Cara Party at KD Designs in the Haymarket here in Lincoln said that just giving people a 15% off discount was the greatest thing she did because it encouraged people to buy way more than they normally would, as well as just got people interested in making a purchase in the first place. So if you didn't indicate that you wanted a deal and you still want to include something like that, you absolutely can. That's not a problem. I can add it to the app, but obviously the booklet's in printing now, so we can't change it there, but that's an easy switch. So get them excited about what you have. Describe how much fun they have through participating in an interactive activity, so that can be a puzzle, anything you can think of. Point out a really interesting exhibit or display. So if you have for example, something that comes to mind is the Platte County Museum in Columbus. They have a really cool old cabin in one of their buildings. So make sure you tell people about what makes your stop interesting or things that they are must-sees, basically. Talk about a must-try flavor item, or menu item. Say you have a really popular burger that people have to have, or you're famous for your onion rings. Tell them about that. And maybe talk about what other passport travelers have liked as well. So if, like, oh my gosh, every person that comes in here just loves our, coconut milkshake, I don't know. But just get creative. Even if you have to, get a little bit more exciting, just push the envelope as much as you can. Our passport travelers love that. They love when you're invested in them. They are almost as excited as you are, if not more. So just try to go above and beyond. Something like a 5-minute behind the scenes tour if you are a brewery, or if you have any sort of back working place. People will love that. They will never forget it. They will tell everyone about it. Do a small art or education project. Give away souvenirs. This image on the right is from Stagecoach Gifts in Kearney last year. They made these cute Christmas tree ornaments, and they gave them to every passport traveler. I have 2 because they sent me one in the mail, and I also visited them. But that was one of my favorite things that I saw last year. That's just such a unique way to get people to remember you. And then on the back it says who they are and their website, I think, and things like that. So just do what you can. Do a photo op station. So I think there's a picture earlier in the presentation, but it's all about bees. And Ralston last year created a photo booth. So they had weird little cute things that said like buzz, buzz or queen bee or worker bee or whatever. Just to get people to stay and to be excited. Give away free samples. It's all about bees last year. I know did give away free samples of their honey, or they give free samples of tea. If you have, ice cream samples or cookies or whatever it may be, give away free samples. And then also prize drawings is something that people love. People who do this program like prizes, so that's a good thing too. So once again, remember, if travelers do not purchase something, please give them excellent customer service at all times. You do not know if they'll come back or if they'll recommend your destination to their family and friends. Past passport stops have said that the overall increase in traffic, sales, and awareness completely outweighs their time stamping for non-purchasers. So just keep that in mind. It might get frustrating sometimes if you're really busy on a Saturday afternoon and people come in just to get their stamp and leave. That can be an issue, but just be aware that the positivity of this program will completely outweigh that, but it's just something to keep in mind. So here is kind of a rundown of the percentage of people who will purchase or experience your destination. If you have something quick to offer people, so say you are a cafe or you offer sweet treats or something, people usually make a purchase. Restaurants is pretty high as well. People will like to make little purchases. You can look to see what area you fit into. But it just kind of depends. You can take this amongst yourself and figure out ways to increase their probability of purchasing something. So coupons are an excellent example. Or even if you have something really small, offer a bottle of water to them. Get something to be like, spend a couple dollars while you're here. It can be really simple. It doesn't have to be, something complicated. It can be candy bars. It can be a little trinket of some kind. Use your knowledge of what people will like and what people will spend a few dollars on if that's something that you're concerned about. So what to expect for traffic once the program gets going. Depending on where you're located in the state, your traffic will be affected. So use about 1,000 to 3,500 passport visitors as a guideline. Depends mostly on your location and type of destination. So this is a map of the digital stamps that happened in 2018 at the UNL Dairy Store, which is right here on East Campus, if you're unfamiliar. So it kind of gives you an idea of which months are most popular. So typically the end of the program is a really big one. So just keep that in mind that May is the smallest one. So for those of you who are concerned about not having the program in May, you will still get these benefits. Participation might even be up this year because of people wanting to be anxious to get out of the house and experience things after this is all gone over. So just please be positive about it, and please know that it's still going to be really helpful. So reporting, your responsibility. Again, please track your traffic. I will send monthly updates, and you can send me how many people came in and what percentage of them made a purchase. So if that means that 150 people came in the month of July, which it'll be more than that, but roughly, and you say, oh, about 40% made a purchase of X amount of dollars. So use a format that works the best for you. You sending me an email of your numbers is the best way for us to track. It just works the best in the past. I'll be sending you your digital numbers. So each month I'll say, you had this many digital stamps in the month of July. And then there'll also be a survey at the end of the program, so you can write down all of that information for me as well. Sales estimates, and then design, and then other ways that you benefited, and then comments and all that kind of thing. So the other big thing is you please be open the hours that you have submitted. Like I said before, this is the #1 complaint that we get from participants. The more you honor that schedule, the better it is for you and the passport travelers. I know it can be hard at times, especially if you're a small business with a few employees. And I know with all that's going on, things might change. People will be understanding about that. But just please be open the hours you've submitted. People get really frustrated if they drive, if they're from Kearney and they drive all the way up to Valentine and you're not open the hours that they said you were, and they tried to plan their trip around it. That can be really frustrating. They want to go inside your business. They want to appreciate it. They want to spend money. So just be aware of that. So if you have to close unexpectedly for a short period of time, this can be for any reason. I'm not going to say you need to figure it out. Just if there's a reason why you need to close, maybe give your stamp to a nearby business. So maybe go next door and say, hey, if we have travelers, can they come in here? Post a sign on your door indicating where the stamp is. So go across the street to, it can be Subway. Go across the street to Subway and they'll have the stamp for you. And then also just email or call me so that I'm aware of it, just in case anyone gives me a call and asks. So if you need to close for an extended period of time, just also let me know and then follow the same procedures. Responsibility, local tourism. So as a part of the mission of the passport program is we want to encourage tourism throughout your region. So we don't just want passport travelers to go to your business. We want them to go everywhere. So you are picked because we trust that you will be a good tourism ambassador. So have brochures and coupons ready for attractions, food, lodging, etc. Create a mini passport within your town. Brownville, Nebraska does this most of the time when they're on the program, where they will say, if you go next door, you'll get this coupon, and then, have a scavenger hunt where people have to find different things in your town. It gets them excited. Some people will do it, some people won't, but that's just the way it goes. Contact your local Convention and Visitors Bureau or chamber and let them know, or work with them with getting creative about it. Hand event flyers, coupon books, and then displays and other local shops. So consider just adding some merchandise from other places nearby. That picture on the right hand side is from Johnny Bird's Brewing in Wayne, and actually this is popcorn from Aquapop, which is a stop this year in Wayne. So they worked together last year to provide more of an exciting experience for the people who go into Johnny Bird. So just get creative with that as well. It's a super simple way to just help everyone involved. So again, we want you to be a passport ambassador. Encourage people to submit their photos and stories about your stop and other stops at nebraskapassport.com. So where I've gotten pretty much every single one of these images on this presentation is from people submitting and sharing their stories on our website. It's a really fun way for you to get more recognition, for us to see who enjoys what stops, and just so they also get their name and prize drawings more. So that's all laid out in the booklet on the website as well. Encourage people who haven't heard about the program to participate. You can use the key marketing, all of that, and also just give them a booklet. And then like I said before, know about the passport stops around you especially. Learn about their description, where they're at, what fun they can have there. You'll get questions, especially from those of people who are nearby in your location. So say you are in Kearney, know about the other Kearney stops. If you are in Grand Island, learn about the stops in Hastings and Kearney. Just familiarize yourself with them. Maybe shoot that person an email and say, hey, this is what I'm about. What would you like me to promote? That's a super easy way for you guys to just get connected, and for you to have more information to provide travelers when they're coming through. And then it says, basically, just read the booklet. Promotions. So throughout the summer or the fall, I will be asking a few of you to come on TV with me. I do monthly interviews with different TV stations across the state. I'll go into that next slide, I believe. But this is our main way of marketing is we increase participation and increase awareness of the program. We like when you guys come on TV. People don't want to hear me talk. They want you to come talk. They want to hear about your destination. That gives them way more excited than me just talking about it. And the other way that I promote the program is I give a lot of passport presentations. These are things like Rotary clubs, PEO groups, assisted living homes, schools, community centers, etc. I know I gave a big presentation in Scottsbluff last summer at their art center, kind of near downtown, and a ton of people came from all across the community. We had people who wanted to be a part of the program next year come. So if you have anybody in your town who you think might love something like that, I will go anywhere and I will give a presentation to anyone. So just keep that in mind. It's a really good way for us, and then I can have a few of you come by those as well, but those are more of a general information session. So here's my media schedule as of right now. We do Pure Nebraska, 10:11, and Channel 8 News in Lincoln monthly at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., 11 and noon. So if you are in the Lincoln area or within about 45 minutes, I will probably ask you to come on TV with me. Just be aware of that. I do NTV Good Life and Good Morning Nebraska in Kearney, Grand Island, Hastings every week in June from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 9 a.m. It's two different shows. And then I do KETV in Omaha monthly, kind of just whenever they need me. So interactive segments. So if I do ask you to come on, something like the Lincoln Children's Zoo always brings on animals. John Chapo is one of our commissioners, and he's always really interactive and fun when he goes on TV. Coffee shops, bring sample of your coffee, bring muffins, bring things and why people would like to go there. I know the anchors really like it when you bring food. Boutiques and coffee and shops, bring examples of your retail items, bring clothing, bring home decor, whatever it is. Museums and art, bring examples of your art, bring, provide pictures to the anchors so that way they can share a little bit and provide some backstory. And then also you can talk about upcoming events or community events as well. So media tips, remember the key marketing phrases we talked about. Make it personal. Plug other shops. Invite them to get booklets at your destination. More information at nebraskapassport.com, and our media tracking system will pick it up. So if you talk to someone in your media, so say the local radio reaches out to you, we will get notifications of that. And then as well as if you talk to the newspaper or your local TV station, they can also reach out to me if they'd like, but it's way more fun for them to talk to you. So our personal social media, if you have people who either share their stories on our website or on nebraskapassport.com, we're trying to submit more to our social media this year. So our Facebook has about 45,000 followers, and our Instagram about 19,000. And we love it when you share stories. We love it when Passport participants share stories and all of that. So please just be aware of that. That's definitely something that we're going to be doing, is promoting you guys as stops too. And then again, submitting stories on nebraskapassport.com. We got about 1,800 last year. So it's a really great thing. It's super fun for me. And then the pictures are just kind of cute. So you can do your own posts as well on your social media. So these are examples of ones that happened last year. That looks rustic and red in Cozad, Golden Spike Tower in North Platte, and then Scottsbluff National Monument, which is in Gearing. So, just get excited about it. Tag us, tag HonestlyNE or hashtag to HonestlyNE. Link to our website, link to Visit Nebraska. Do what you can. It's exciting. People will like seeing that you're a passport destination as well. You can also do giveaways on yours. So this is someone who had a little girl came in and they gave her a picture, or that she gave them a picture, and it's just a sweet thing to share. You can email us if something comes up that you want us to share. We have a social media strategy, and we're going to try to promote about 2 to 3 passport stops each week. We're going to see how that works out. Again, with everything that's going on, we'll be really sensitive and aware of it. But just so you know that that's something that we really encourage you to do. So this is a piece that I really wanted to touch on. You should have gotten an email from our intern Emerson. Her email is ntc.intern4@nebraska.gov about creating or updating a profile on our Visit Nebraska website. So this is the best way for us to promote your destination. So when people go on our website, they might search things to do in your area, and we want your name to come up. So this is an example of the Archway and Kearney's page. And it obviously links to their website. It has a map, it has description, rates, hours of operation, all sorts of things that can give people more of a reason to go to your store or your destination. It also gives us a better way of sharing your content on social media. So if you have any questions, please email Emerson. She's the one that knows most about that. I am not your expert when it comes to the Visit Nebraska website, but the Nebraska Passport website, I got you. I did want to touch on our sponsors this year just because we do have quite a few of them. So one that I really wanted to mention is the Highway Safety Office and Nebraska Safety Council. They sponsored a sticker sheet in the back of the booklet, and it will be with the prize entry sheet for every year. So I have an example of it here. But basically it'll be this little sticker sheet, and it says most scenic drive, tastiest treats, best drinks, best place to eat, best cup of coffee. I encourage people to use them. It's mostly for kids to get them excited to put something in the booklet of like, oh, when we went to that stop, they had really awesome muffins, and I can mark that down. So just if people ask you questions, that's what this is. It's just a fun little promotional thing, in kind of a cute way just to get people more excited about it. And so we also have History Nebraska, Runza, Omaha Steaks, Nebraska Lottery, and Pumpkin Pantry. They all donated prizes or have ads in the booklet. So just check it out, see what there is. I familiarize yourself with the prizes as well. They're in the back of the booklet. That way when people ask you questions about it, they can let you know, or you can let them know. All right, so this is the last little bit. I know I've been talking for a while. So do not start stamping until the program begins. Hopefully we will communicate that really well if we postpone the program even farther, but just let people know that the program, you cannot stamp until it actually begins, and then you cannot stamp after the program ends. So remember, there is no stamping for people who are not present. Just be aware of that. Determine how you want to collect participant information, and then please, please, please check your email. If you have not been receiving my emails, or if it is not a good email for you to receive updates at, let me know. I can change it, but it is very important that you check your email, and that you're aware of everything that's going on. Feel free to email me back. I like to hear from you guys. And then think about visitor experience, things that you want to add, photo ops, prize drawings for samples, art projects, all that. And do you want them to leave with anything so you can create a coupon, collect local brochures and coupons, and determine how you're going to go about displaying them. Most people use a table or counter space, something like that. And then meet with local businesses that might see an uptick in traffic, and tell them about the program. So if you have a gas station nearby, or if you have a restaurant nearby, say, hey, we are on this program, just so you know. If you're interested in working with me, or if you're curious as to why all these people are coming through our town, that's why. All right, so that is all I have. If you have any questions, please email me. That is my email right there. And then I know a lot of you have my email, and it looks like I have quite a few questions that came in already. Okay, so this is a question about the app. So I did say that you can get a stamp so the people who have the app can get a stamp when they're closed. And so the question is, does that defeat the purpose of providing an economic benefit? And what % of the people use the app? And I'd say it absolutely does not defeat the purpose, because not a lot of people just use the app. It's a really rare thing that people will come in and, I would say, I don't know the exact percentage of how many people use the app. A lot of people use both, but it is a rare thing that people don't come into your store. So if you weigh the pros and cons, if you have 75% of the people coming into your location and spending money, and then you have 25% that consider spending money, and then you have, you know, a little bit, you know, whatever, less who don't come in, it doesn't impact it as much as you think it would. I know it's scary to say that people can get stamps otherwise. There is some people who will say that the app should not exist, but it did hurt us a lot when the app did not exist because people got so frustrated with ours. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. It has its benefits, it has its disadvantages, but it is something that needs to happen. Okay, this is a question. The app has not been updated yet, so your destinations are not on the new app, the app as of right now. It's still 2019. So once the 2020 stops happen, it'll be all of your information. So yes, it is still the 2019 version. The 2021 will not show up until the program begins. Yes, and so the other thing is I do have this logo available for you to use on promotion and anything you'd like. So I will, if you'd like our logo, I can send either this one or I have one with a pink background behind it or whatever you would like. If you want to use it in your marketing materials or if you want to put it on any flyers, if you want to put it on your social media, I can send you all of that. Just let me know. And I can also send you the Nebraska Tourism logo as well. So just ask for all of that. So I can definitely create some sort of toolkit for you in order to send out to other people on your social media and all of that as well. Okay, so this question is about encouraging people to go to other businesses nearby to get a stamp and what have past passport stops done to promote other businesses in the area. So like I said, just giving people coupons to the restaurant nearby, telling them that, oh my gosh, the restaurant nearby has the best pizza in the world, you wouldn't believe it. Just little things like that. It'll really be easier than you think to encourage people to go to stops nearby or to go to restaurants nearby to you, especially if you are in a strip mall situation, or if you're in downtown square, or if you are a really small town and you don't have much around you. That's a really easy thing to just get more revenue coming into your community. So I think those are all of the questions that I got. If you have any more, please just send them to me. I will be around. I check my email all the time. I'll let you know if any updates happen. You guys will be the first people to know. Do not be afraid to ask questions revolving all of these changes. And then once you get the booklets, just please familiarize yourself with them. There's all sorts of information in the back, as well as on our website, nebraskapassport.com. I will open that real quick, actually. I'm not sure how many of you have been on our website before, but if you have never been on nebraskapassport.com, please visit it and check out what it looks like. This is our home screen. This is the list of all of your guys' stops. So right here is a map of every single one of you. So if you are the Bonfire Grill and Broken Bow, I can do this right here and it'll send me right to your location. It also goes by town and it lists all of you with pictures. So that's when I was emailing pictures. That's part of the reason why. It also goes by category. So these are all the big bite tours. So there's a ton of information in here. There is an entire FAQs page. So if anybody has any questions, it is on this website, I assure you. You can also order a booklet on here if people don't know that. They can get it mailed to their house. There's so many things. Here's an example of some passport stories. So here's where they can share some. And then some passport traveler stories that have been submitted in the past. This is an example of something someone submitted. So please just, familiarize yourself with all of the different things revolving the passport. It's really helpful for you. And then again, if anyone has any problems, please just send them my way. Tell them to call my office, and I will answer any of their questions. So I think that's all I have for you. It looks like I took exactly an hour. So I hope you're all staying safe and that you're practicing good social distancing and all of that. Oh, I did just get an email, and it says, can we watch this presentation again? Or for those who are not available. And absolutely, I will hopefully within the next few days or within the next week or so send you a link or an email to this presentation. That way you can show it to others who need to see it, or if you were unable to see it or you need someone else to see it, that way you have that option. So that's a good question. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, so that is all I have. Please let me know if you have any other questions or any concerns. Email me or give me a call. All right, thank you.